picks one of his signatures locked in. I'm going to hold my breath for a moment because I really hope we see the Kassadin. We actually just talked about this in a practice not too long ago, and it's locked in. Kassadin versus Azir, and
okay, so Nukeduck may have just won the game right. I'm a huge Kassadin fan right now on the current patch. I think this champion is so insanely strong. If you reach level 16, the game is won. I'm just gonna put it out there here for Origin fans out there. They're blessing up right now. They're like, yes, we got it. Rogue Origin. We expect it to go slow. We expect it to go late. Kassadin is such a good pick here with the Trundle 2 to cut down the Ornn. It's gonna be really solid. But to dive deeper into this Kassadin, you look at the side of Rogue. Like, how do Rogue force anything onto you? There's no hard instant CC. Ornn's delayed. Tahm Kench is delayed. Kassadin can have a field day with you, and this game is going full scaling. This game is going full scaling, man.
Okay, so tell me what you make of the Kindred now. Obviously, with Gragas gone, Karthus gone, Olaf gone, a number of champion bans. Trundle was picked up, which I think I like, into the TK and the Ornn. But now Kindred as a reply, I've not been super impressed by the Kindreds that I've seen thus far.
No, but I will say that I think this is the type of game to pull it out. So game ones and best of fives typically have more off-the-wall picks. You see the Kassadin, you see the Kindred. Kindred, similar idea here. You have a really solid matchup up against the Trundle. You have the range advantage, you have the red buff to apply auto attacks, and Inspired has basically said his goal isn't to try and take over the early game and go for these ganks or anything, but it is to look to scale and to have that ultimate to protect his backliner when they're getting dove on by a Kassadin and Renekton in the late game. I think this is a really clever, really interesting combination when you have three scaling backline champions and an Ornn with his Ornn upgrades as well.
Oh, this is going to be very fun in the late game team fights, and honestly, exactly what every single analyst, observer, League of Legends fan, and LEC viewer was anticipating. And Ender, just to summarize it, scaling, maybe a little bit more scaling. What do you think?
Look, I'm just going to say this is the type of game where we are going to have a lot of time on our hands. Quick shot. This is going to be a long one. This is going to be a good one.
Origin versus Rogue, game one, coming right up. And welcome to Summoner's Rift and the first best of 5 in the second round of the LEC playoffs. It is Origen taking on Rogue, and it's Rogue that have already given themselves a little bit of shenanigans afoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man stack pushing into OG's jungle. Is this just for Vision, Ender? What do you make of it?
Yeah, no, this is definitely looking for either Vision or, obviously, best case scenario, you burn a flash here. You can see Inspired even started with a sweeper himself to try and clear away any sort of level 1 ward in that bottom side of the jungle. And there's just wards all over the place. So what you're trying to do on Kindred, especially in the early game in a matchup where you can get a little bit more, pressure, especially when your mid laner is going to be able to shove in pretty reliably, is you're going to look to play for those early crabs to get your stacks. Now, with that, sweep away here, Inspired can go for the late invade towards this red buff, and I actually really like Xerxes' response on the top side of the map to go for an invade play himself, because otherwise, if Xerxes loses red buff, it's probably just going to be a double scuttle crab clear for Inspired. He'd get about a half level lead off that initial clear, so instead will be pretty even overall, but keep your eyes on which side of the map that mark does spawn, because that would be pretty telling for the
Okay, I'll keep my eyes on how many marks Inspired can actually build up for himself. This is Inspired's first Kindred of the split, and we've seen it a couple times played. I think I recall Misfits running it a moment or two, and I want to see how it's going to impact. Of course, Xerxes with a fairly early appearance here on the mid lane.
Wow.
A little bit of a smash and grab. The pillar comes down. Flash is available for Lost, but it's level 1 on Kassadin as well, so I think that was more of a pressure play than anything else.
That was not typical Xerxes right there. Xerxes is the type of a jungler that wants to stay like in Fog of War for as long as possible and sort of confuse his opponents. That's the type of gank I would expect an Inspired to go for. He's the guy that gets a little bit more creative with this early pass to go for level 2 type ganks here, but instead Xerxes skills Pillar for a pretty pointless gank in the mid lane. Maybe it helps Nukeduck get some minions underneath that tower, but will end up slowing down Xerxes' clear speed just a little bit. As you can see, Inspired should be ticking over to level 3 right as he finishes the wolf camp right there, and gives himself a nice little advantage inside of the jungle. So to see Xerxes go for that, now I'm maybe a little bit worried because, as I said, Larson should have prio coming through middle lane, so he should just be camping inside a river after this bot side gank to see when he can get that mark. But I do like this move from him as well. They can make it work. Whoa!
We're going to find out. That's a lot of aggression. The Lantern was good, and that's going to be a flash for safety as well. But Hans Sama and Vander, they've shown to be a devastating duo. With the help of Inspired, they get 3 summoners down bots.
But this is actually so huge for Rogue's bot lane there, and it all comes back off of that level 2 gank from Xerxes. Again, you know, Inspired had split the map right down the middle, so he had full control over bot side. He then knows that Xerxes is going back towards his top side jungle, so with the lane sort of corralling its way in towards Rogue's tower, they set up that freeze and have now gotten all the summoner spells. That's going to open up, well, I would say a CS advantage down bot side, but it's the fasting Senna, so we'll just deny a little bit away from Upset here, who should be able to pick up a big wave as it crashes in towards tower. But as you can see, Inspired also going in, taking away the enemy Raptor camp as well, and should be here to respond if Xerxes were to even try for a play himself.
I mean, it's a 300 gold advantage already, just from some CS advantages in multiple lanes. I want to see whether or not Upset and Destiny can be taken care of again without those summoner spells, with the flashes being down. Hans Sama Vander, Inspired, they can definitely set up more plays, especially once Inspired's able to get to level 6, manage to use that Lamb's Respite, you know, work with that tool. But we haven't taken a look at the top lane at all. This Renekton from Alphari, at plus 12 CS, Finn's got a wave to play with at the moment, but this is what you'd expect in the Renekton versus Ornn matchup.
Yeah, Alphari, you know, went for the first pick Renekton, and some teams would be like, hey, how can we counter this out? Rogue are like, okay, Finn, get on some engage. You're going to provide a whole lot for our team. And I think that's actually kind of the right approach in a game like this, where you know it's going to be scaling a little bit later, is you don't need to play for lane. And that's where this matchup becomes really interesting to me, right? Because you look at it. Now, Fari's the type of the player that he's going to win every lane by 10 plus CS. He's doing it right now up against Finn. That's expected. That's the norm for Alphari, whereas Finn, even though, you know, he is one of the stars on this Rogue roster, has never been about dominating lane. It's about how he can transition his advantages towards the rest of the map. So right now, Rogue is sinking so much into this bottom lane, and they have a TP from Finn as well. That TP advantage could mean he gets bot lane soon.
Yeah, let's take a look, see what happens. Whether or not Finn can come down. Xerxes going to be
They have a good ward
lane.
to TP to, actually, underneath Upset right now.
Oh, Inspired is going to be the first one to spot out Xerxes. This is a 3-on-3. Remember, no flashes. Death Sentence will find a target. It's onto Hans Sama. The Devour buys enough time. Here comes Finn. He's jumped in with the teleport. Now Xerxes running for his life. Hans Sama pushes forward. A 2-man knockup. That was so well played from Rogue. Finn has not got the damage just yet. Destiny will finally go down. First blood to Rogue and Hans Sama.
Really nice play there from Rogue. You can see Finn the whole time was trying to get his recall off to come in the TP. He said, screw it, I'm coming down here anyways. Origen thought they had the advantage. Destiny did land a sweet hook, but it's the TP mismatch that is going to decide those types of plays, and it's Finn who gets down in the bottom lane and gets Hans Sama ahead again for yet another time this season.
Oh, so nicely done. The kill going to Hans Sama. Not done yet. Finn,
oh, no.
God. Remember, no flash for Upset. Diving under the tower. The second kill of the game. The dragon and a plate to boot. Rogue in the lead.
Can I just say our timing could not have been better? It's like Finn, he doesn't play for lane. He wants to get down bot side, and he gets 2 kills right there in 2 ganks. You see this play one more time. With Xerxes down here, OG, they're calling for the play, but remember, neither Destiny nor Upset have the flash. The exhaust keeps Upset close by. Finn goes, lands a flash, double knockup onto the jungler and support. They're able to burst down Destiny. Then, with Xerxes this low, well, he's going to recall. He's going to leave the tower. Finn ticks over to level 6 and has that ultimate to make the dive happen. And after a play like that, Rogue very smartly were able to pick up the Ocean Drake. I think Inspired was taking that while the dive was happening, and have now rotated topside. So we're just a minute away from the Rift Herald spawning. This is just picture-perfect League of Legends for the first 7 minutes so far.
And it is also exactly what we were expecting. And when we were prepping for this matchup, we were talking about how Finn, as you explained before, he's not somebody that tends to do particularly great in lane. When he's played Alphari, the split, Alfari stats, forward percent 56, plus 35 CSD was Alfari versus Finn the last 2 times they met, and a plus 2k gold lead. But the difference is, while Alfari can dumpster Finn in lane, Finn looks for those recall plays, those TP plays. He gets Hans Summer ahead, plays for the bottom lane. He's done it by running down, he's done it by TPing, and then by unlocking Hans Summer. That's how Rogue can push their leads elsewhere on the map, just as we've seen. So this is a great start by Rogue, and having a 2-0 fasting center and access to the Herald, this is just exactly what Rogue were hoping for.
Yeah, it is going so well for them right now, and notice to keep talking about Finn a little bit too. It's weird because I feel like top laners, you usually only get credit when you're the player that like smashes your opponent, right? And you know, in the past, you know, our great top laners have been that type of you know, style. But this split we've seen Bwipo doing super well, you know, not just playing aggro in lane, but also transitioning to the rest of the map. And that's almost the style of player that I would compare a Finn to. Is that type of guy that isn't playing first lane. He'll sack minion waves. You know, he just TP'd bot lane while there was a wave and a half underneath his tower. He said, forget it. I don't need the minions. I'm here to make sure my carries get ahead. And I think that that type of attitude is super necessary to have in your wheelhouse as a top laner.
And it really helps when you do have a duo lane that have been performing. Hans Summer and Vander have looked pretty good all split long, and they've had definitely some standout moments. Being able to put down Upset and Destiny is a path to victory here for Rogue. So they've got a 1700 gold lead. They've got themselves that Ocean Drake, the 2-kill advantage that we've already alluded to. And even the CS numbers, Finn has been able to balance that out. He's just one wave behind Alfari. Now, the one thing that hasn't been mitigated yet, and I think it's fair and expected, 80 CS on Nukeduck's Kassadin to the 96 of Larson. I think everyone would have anticipated that. I might even argue Nukeduck might be happy with just being two waves down at this point. He's about to hit level 9, getting closer to level 11, and this is just what Kassadin wants to do. He wants to scale up. They get a flash from Inspired. I was so much in story mode, I didn't even realize Inspired was in trouble. But he escapes, and I think, by the way, Inspired has still only got that single stack. Yeah, he's only got 1 mark of the Kindred so far.
Yeah, look, Trevor, you're getting surprised by action. I think OG versus Rogue getting surprised by action. They were expecting to show up at 30 minutes in this game. They weren't quite seeing the plays down bot side happening. But no, I think, you know, you're talking about Nukeduck just a little bit there, and he's totally comfortable on this type of CS deficit. You can see the Rod of Ages has come through, and even with Rogue getting an early lead, that doesn't nullify the fact that at level 16, like, Nukeduck should be pretty unstoppable. We've already said, like, the reliable CC is just not there to be able to lock him down, and there's also no one on Rogue that can reliably match him in a side lane too, because you know for a while in this game, you know, through 2 items, I think Larson should be able to clear waves in the side lane, no problem, up against the Kassadin, but there will come a point where Larson is going to just have to press R to get the Kassadin off him, and then Kassadin will chase him down the lane if he's not playing super safely. So that sort of side lane win condition for Origen is something that I am going to be looking at very closely here for the team, because it's something that Origen really haven't incorporated into the style. Origen have always been a team that is looking for the 5v5s, is looking for the team fights, and even when they have had the ability to try and, you know, really blitz down side lane turrets, go for inhibitors, etc., it's come down to the 5v5s for them. So if they're able to pull this off with the Kassadin, I think it actually spells very good signs for them moving forward.
I actually remember that, Alfari playing like Camille on side lane and having the ability to push waves, but instead just peeling back, looking for the fights, forcing objectives.
Yeah.
I've just had these flashbacks from weeks and weeks ago. It feels like a lifetime ago right now, Ender, with everything going on. But yeah, I mean, like you said, 1,000 gold at 11 minutes, definitely nothing to be super terrified by. Finn was roaming his way up towards mid while the Rift Herald will finally go down. Inspired will be able to secure this one, and Upset will get some vision thanks to that turret. Looking at the mini-map, Larson is making his way up top. I don't know if they're fancying themselves a dive, but nevertheless, pushing that vision forward. And now we get to see where is Shelly going to get used. Turret plating still 2 minutes to go, so if they use that quickly enough, they can push that gold lead just slightly further ahead.
Yep, that's what what is going to be the play for them. They can also set that up to help secure the dragon, because as you're saying, Finn was rotating up towards the, into the river, towards mid lane, in case a fight broke out. What it also meant was there was vision on the Infernal Drake, so Xerxes wasn't easily able to, you know, sneak that one away. Had he started that up, all of a sudden there's an Abyssal Voyage bringing Hans Sama over to the equation as well there too. So Xerxes intelligently decides, nope, we're not going to start up that objective, but what it does mean is that there is no response to this play from Rogue yet again. Rogue have all control over this game. They've dominated the topside vision, which allows Hans Sama and Vander to play very, very aggressively, and all Finn has to do is play safe down here and not die to a potential Xerxes gank as he is in the area.
I mean, if I do the very basic math, 120 CS combined for Upset and Destiny, 99 for Hans Sama and Vander. If I can ask the observers to toggle over to the gold and we can do some quick math to work out the equivalent values there. Looking like further ahead, 2,600 gold on the side of Upset and Destiny. About 600 gold ahead for Hans Sama and Vander. Obviously 2 kills to their name is definitely going to play to their advantage. But this is again what you want to see if you were Rogue. Get Fasting Senna into a strong position, get the item advantage. They're going to continue pushing this top wave, and with the Infernal Drake looking like it's about to be pushed, Rogue making some waves down, that might be another objective for Rogue to just pick ahead.
Abyssal Voyage to mid lane. They're just going to look for the tower here.
Yeah, going to push the tower. Rift Herald, 30 seconds left on that plate. Should be able to get an instant charge. Finn can come in from behind with that Call of the Forge God. Is not even going to be needed. Origen are going to concede the tower. So that's tower first blood picked up. First dragon conceded. First blood conceded. And let's see whether Rogue are bold enough to push further. 2,000 gold lead. At what point do you believe Rogue's lead is going to be big enough to overcome the level 16 win condition of a nuke like Kassadin?
Well, the thing is, I don't think you can really point to any sort of numbers here for Rogue, because what it's going to come down to is you always have like that timer against you, but assuming Rogue can like force a 5v5 on like very superior itemization, which is going to be likely because you have an Ornn in your game as well as 2 marksmen and like a super high, you know, DPS mid laner in this Azir too, like their team fight is always going to be super, super insane, and all they have to do is try and manage Kassadin as best they can in order to come out on top. I just think they're playing such good League of Legends right now that the game should be pretty easy moving forward from here for Rogue. You know, we're talking about items, and Hans Sama got an Umbral Glaive at 11 minutes. Like, you get full vision control over the river, over the enemy jungle, anything like this. So because of these different things, Rogue have been able to go deep into the enemy jungle and put down vision. Then they use the Abyssal Voyage to just get this huge window where they can push mid lane tower. It just really is solid stuff for them.
That Catfish has got a Sunfire cape. Finn is sitting on a Sunfire cape. Nash's Tooth already completed, compared to 4 stacks on Aroa and some thrift shopping between Alfari and Upset. So if a fight breaks out now, I feel like Rogue have got a significant item advantage. That's before you add in the 2 Drakes. Another tower's going to fall. I love this early game here. Rogue showing they've got some clean decision making. They've made the dives work, or the teleport rather, from Finn into the dive, and it will be at the cost
Look
of
at top lane, though. This is getting really sketchy. Hans Sama and Vander back away at the right time and place forward. Okay, that could have been bad there. Had Xerxes been able to find the window. It was Nuke Duck actually sitting in the top lane brush, waiting to try and find a pick there. Had Hans Sama and Vander overextended, but these have been sort of all the interactions from OG where Xerxes is close by and looking for a gank, and it doesn't quite pan out, whereas every single time Rogue have attacked, it's been very decisive and gone wildly in their favor. So just a few different things going slightly different for Origen. All of a sudden this game would be right back even, but for the time being, Rogue still in full control.
Well, we have some time, so I want to ask you, our expectations for Xerxes versus Inspired coming into this, the belief and the feeling that when Xerxes comes up against junglers who are expected to be weaker than him, or he is a better player than, he tends to really, really make those players look worse than they are. And this time around, that very early invade from Rogue and sort of the splitting of the map, plus then that strange level 2 gank from Xerxes, uncharacteristic, unexpected, and it's put Xerxes in this position that he's 0-0-0 on Trundle. He still has a lot of value, don't get me wrong. That Subjugate plus the Pillar in these team fights is going to do a lot of work, but it's not what we were anticipating and Inspired kind of showing up in the first game.
Right. This was a matchup where I was thinking like, hey, Inspired, sometimes he goes for these sort of like off-meta paths. And what I mean by that is he will go for the level 2 gank. You know, the analyst desk was talking about the game 1 match against Misfits where he took red buff on Talia and dove bot lane. That ended up going horribly wrong, but it has gone nicely for them in the past. You know, when he was on his Olaf and making all those invade plays last year, he really did make a name for himself. Just holding that box. It looked like Nukeduck was trying to go in, but I don't know what he was trying to do there because Rogue are able to pick up yet another tower up in the top side of the map.
We know that that was too risky of a play. And Origen, they play the safe calls, right?
No.
He's not level 16 yet. It's not the time to be emboldened. So we'll go back to the Inspired and Xerxes discussion.
Like, I just want to put Nukeduck in a side lane. Farm up, do your business. No, but Xerxes has been the type of guy where whenever I watch him, I feel like you learn something new about the jungle because he's the type of a player where it's very clear he can see like all the options his opponent has in their path. So he doesn't necessarily know which path you're going for, but he always knows that you have like 3 or 4 different things you can be doing, and the second you reveal yourself or he can pinpoint your location on the map, that is when he punishes you. That's when he's able to find a counter gank. If you actually fall back to the last time these two teams played, Inspired went for a level 2 red buff invade. Timing was slightly off, so Xerxes ended up forcing him away from there, and then counter ganked him in the top lane and got this really sweet kill flashing over the wall on the Gragas. And it's these types of moves that make me, whenever I come into a matchup like this, go, hey, Xerxes, he has the advantage. But then Xerxes was actually the guy that went for the crazy level 2 thing this game. Inspired is playing a good early game on a scaling jungler and making things happen. So this is a different look from him, and it's one that I think is very, very good for Rogue in the postseason.
Taking a look, I think Inspired currently only has 1 mark to his name, and I love the fact that Rogue are sort of beating Origen at their own game to a degree, right? Playing smart lead, they've got 2 dragons already. There's 45 seconds till the next one. If you look at the minimap, OG have got a numbers advantage at the time being, and there's no tower in the bottom lane for Rogue to fall back to, so I imagine there might be some sort of contest. But Nash's Tooth picked up a Kindle Gem for Vanda, plus the Null Magic, so you have to imagine that's going to become a Spirit Visage in the not-too-distant future. Abyssal Mask for Finn. Almost Black Cleaver for Inspired, so they're scaling. They've got a very good itemization lead. Rift Herald was picked up as well, so we can even see that being used to push down another tower.
See, Trevor, I actually don't see a way for OG to really contest this objective. Like, Alfari is really strong right now. Like, don't get me wrong, but the backline peel with a Nazir ult, a Kindred ult, Tahm Kench too, like, I don't think that Origen can even come near Rogue in terms of their itemization. And that's really, really unfortunate for them because they give up yet another Drake. And because Inspired was able to take that first Ocean so early into the game, we're going to be looking at a 25-minute Cloud Soul for Rogue. This is going to be the second mark of the game for Inspired as they're able to invade that one away. And the other thing, too, is that all the objective spawns have been desynced. You saw the Rift Herald spawned a minute before the Cloud Drake bot side.
Yeah.
So they get both of them, and Origen are walking around the map wondering, how do we actually farm anything? How do we do anything? Now Xerxes never gets to farm his jungle again because Alfari is going to be taking the wolves. They should give those wolves to him, I think, at least. Xerxes should just be an ult bot at this point, but bot side Nukeduck is taking the Krugs too, so they are trying to funnel him in towards level 16, but I don't think it is going to come soon enough for the squad.
Okay, so 3 levels away. That is the time. If you were an Origen fan and you voted hashtag OG win, which I believe 67% of the Twitter voters did vote for, that is your win condition you're looking for. Ender, I want you to look into your crystal ball. I want you to go 4.5 minutes into the future, okay? The Cloud Soul is on the Rift. Rogue maintained the advantage they have, as has been the trend for the last 20 minutes of gameplay. Do Origen win that team fight? Do they have enough tools to get through what you just described? The Azir, the TK, the Kindred ult, Ornn. Or will Rogue just simply pick up the Ocean Soul and look to set themselves up for a Game 1 victory? Because that's the world that I'm currently projecting.
Yeah. In 4.5 minutes, Inspired is going to have the Obsidian Cleaver upgraded because Finn should be probably level 15 at that point. Han Sama too should be able to upgrade, you know, a Yomu boost if he goes for that second. The only thing is Larson won't be able to have an item upgraded. That's a little bit unfortunate on the Azir, but they're going to be very strong as look at this. It's Nukeduck being pincered up here. He has all the ult stacks in the world, so he's going to be jumping away here quickly on the Kassadin, but Yeah, I don't think you
They
chase him
the
down
whole
the
time.
whole.
I was gonna say, that's awful. Like, there's not Benny Hill is not long enough. That song will finish before you've caught that Cassidy.
Well, he actually didn't start even channeling his recall.
Oh my word, they may have actually caught him. I am so sorry, Nuke Duck. I just cursed you.
They have no
This is an
CC. They have no
official
CC.
curse.
There's no
Okay,
way they get him.
Riftwalk, Riftwalk. Okay. Right.
He lost his whole mana bar. So this is actually I think too much from Rogue here. They saw him in side lane. They're like, hey, Nuke Duck in side lane, we can pick. But what they failed to realize is that it's Kassadin in a side lane. So while yes, they get his full mana bar, and that's kind of funny. Alphari pushes the bot wave all the way into the tower. They're able to deny some away from Finn here. So that's a small bit of breathing room from Origen, which will be quickly taken away here as the Rift Herald's going to be spawned in the mid lane one more time. That should be the mid lane tier 2 tower at the very least. With all of Rogue trying to run over and respond, we may see a fight here, quick shot.
Alphari's looking to come in from behind. Shelly will get the charge down. Nuke Duck is about a third of his mana bar. Won't be able to chase. Actually, him burning through mana may have been what prevented that call. I don't know if Nuke Duck could have played the extended engage. So Rogue, 5 towers to 2, 3 dragons to 0, 2 kills to 0. And I am starting to get nervous for OG here in this game. A minute and a half to dragon. And if I recall correctly, don't let me put words in your mouth, but I believe you were saying Rogue should win the dragon fight and get the soul.
Yes, I am very much in the camp that Rogue are going to be winning this fight. Like, yes, the Aphelios, but with all summoner spells available for the back line of Rogue, that gives them such an advantage here, because when you think about what OG need to do as a fight, it's not about playing a slow front-to-back team fight where Aphelios is carrying. No, it's about, like, how does Nuke Duck find Larson out or find Inspired? How does he get them to flash away from the fight so that Rogue drop tons of DPS in that extended trade?
Nice.
Well, I don't feel that Nuke Duck is yet in the position to be able to do so, and when flashes are up for those backline carries, it becomes so much harder for him to actually have kill threat.
Absolutely the case. Call of the Forge God comes down a minute until dragon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching at home, Hans Summer is only around 76-ish, 75-ish souls. Inspired at 24 minutes on a quasi-infinite scaling Kindred. Has a grand total of 1 mark. That's right, 1 mark, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, he only has 1? I thought he got a second one off the Raptor camp.
Okay, number 2. I take it back.
Okay,
I take it back.
He's halfway there, man. He's halfway there.
2 minutes have passed since my last update. That's my bad. He's on 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's double as effective as I just pitched it. But, Ender, set this fight up for me. OG very clearly do not want to give it up uncontested. But holy moly.
Does Larson actually have Rabadon? If he recalls on Rabadons, I don't think he has enough money. I would be amazed if he actually did, but it would be GG. Okay, he doesn't. OG are not completely blown out of the water, but Rogue's still very much in control. Look at how Alphari is positioning in his bot lane bush. OG want to contest this. It doesn't seem to me like it's going to be just a straight 50-50 here with their positioning, but now they're actually pulling it back. Rogue, what are they going to do without the Ornn ult?
Oh, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. Alphari hasn't pulled the trigger yet. Nuke Duck's not there. He needs to teleport in. That's going to be crucial. The dragon's going down. The dragon's done. OG, you are at the door, but you need to go through it. You can't arrive late to a party and dance on the steps. You can't just listen to the music in the lawn of the house party owner. OG, watch the soul go down and wave and go like, my bad.
Nuke Duck's the type of guy that's out on the front porch right now with the boombox up over his head. He's like, let me in. I want to be level 16. I want to be in the party right now. But Rogue don't want to give them the chance.
Not at all.
He just needs one more number. He needs that 5 to be a 6, and then maybe he can do something. But even then, you know, the scaling items still aren't all the way there. So he is going nuts just waiting inside the jungle looking for a pick.
And Ender, we have to give kudos here to Rogue, right? The composition they put together is exceptionally difficult to play into. Even if Nuke Duck and Upset had found targets, Lamb's Respite, Emperor's Divide, Devour, Senna's Shielding and Ultimates, like there are a lot of tools that you can use to win that fight, and we know Origen are somewhat risk averse. They play the 75% certainty fights, the 80% certainties. So when you're playing into a team comp that has so many like tools to deal with, it's no wonder that there's hesitation.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't blame them for playing like this because they just frankly need time. Early game didn't go exactly well, but even then, like, Bold is close. It's just the literal champions in this game. It's so hard for them to do anything here. With Vander coming around, they're going to slow down Xerxes.
Alright, Tongue Lash does find its target. Xerxes is going to get chunked out, 50% HP. Finds up Lantern to safety. This should open Baron.
Just go do Baron.
This should open Baron. Ornn has his ultimate available. Azir, ultimate available. Kindred, ultimate available, but that can be a double-edged sword inside the Baron pit.
Yeah, they're just going to look for the turn right here as OG funnel themselves into this corridor here. Can Rogue turn? They're just going to get the Baron for free. There's not even a fight.
Again, absolutely nothing happens. Finn's looking for the engage, though. Call of the Forge God comes down. That's a double knock-up onto Destiny and Xerxes, and Destiny, his life is forfeit as Rogue get Baron. They've got the Soul. The Abyssal Voyage chases onto Upset. His flash is now gone. And that Tahm Kench, he's a speedy boy.
He's a carry. He's going to solo kill him.
He absolutely is. Gets the Devour. Here comes Hans Summer. Thank you. Vander deserved that kill. Hashtag Vander is the best Tahm Kench. Not done yet, though, as Lamb continues to chase down, as well as Wolf is looking for the bite. Xerxes will be in trouble just a moment's time. 1 or 2 more hits. Inspired gets them, gets back, and Rogue in absolute control.
Rogue are playing the easiest game of their lives right now. They're literally taking everything, and Origen can't even get there in time. They're on the mid lane tower. OG walking around, literally nothing they can do. Rogue came in with this draft. They've won from minute 1 onwards here, and are now going to walk into the base a second time once they come back here with the Baron, because the base has been broken, Trevor, and quite frankly, Origen have been too.
Yeah, remember, Origen got destroyed by Fnatic in the upper bracket to be in this position. But again, the Baron just completely taken without any contest whatsoever. Admittedly, Xerxes was late to the party, and Newtek wasn't really close enough to Riftwalk in.
Well, it's a good call, too. Remember, that was all led by Vander, who found the flank on Xerxes initially. He's the one that slowed him down, forced him to 20% HP, then the Lantern had to come in, obviously, to drag him away. So that's why Xerxes wasn't there. But once Xerxes was zoned like that, he can't come back into the pit. With Kindred, Azir, like, those champions shred through Baron Nashor so insanely quickly that there was never going to be a chance of a steal right here. So Rogue were able to clean up the last few kills of that fight. And on the top side of the map, Nukeduck was just farming. He's level 16 now, but it is too far too late. He cannot go into a side lane against Baron. Rogue are going to be able to push.
They absolutely can. First pick in this game was Renekton, right? First pick over 35 minutes ago. 0-0-0 for Albari's Renekton. Finn, who managed to get his hands on Ornn in the second rotation, he set up a teleport double kill in the bottom lane that got Hans Sama 2-0. And of the team's 5 kills, Ornn has been involved in 4. Hans Sama Senna in 5. Vander, 100% kill participation. Finn's and Rogue's strategy from the drop, from the get-go, was to unlock bot lane and play through it, and they have excelled. They've got themselves 7 towers to 2. We're nearly 30 minutes into the game. Inspired, I'm not inspired by your mark, picked up 2. At this point, Hans Sama Senna 115 souls. And Rogue, they're looking to take down another tower. Look at the top lane. Even their waves are set up correctly.
Yeah, there's a massive wave top lane. Super minions should be coming in soon towards mid. It's a little bit desynced, so Nukeduck will have time to clear this one away before returning towards bot. But it seems like, hey, Rogue going to take things a little bit slower. It's 30 minutes into the game, but in 55 seconds, we're going to have an Elder Drake. And let's be honest, Rogue have all the tools they need to be able to secure that one for themselves. You know, we were talking about that first pick Renekton a little bit, and I feel a little bad for not giving it the time of day in the draft because, hey, Alfari locks the Renekton, that's great and all. But look at what Rogue have done to it. Like, how is Renekton supposed to play in these team fights? Like, Renekton in the late game is supposed to flash on your backliner and try to one-shot them. You can't do that against Tahm Kench, Senna, Kindred, Ultimate. Like, all these things are stopping it. The range is making it so miserable for him to ever enter a fight, so he's been relegated to farming. And now Origen are going to have to come up with a miracle even to stall out this game because Rogue have everything in their corner and now just need that one final buff to be able to slam the door in Origen's face.
But, and it's a big but. Nukeduck is level 17. Lichbane completed. Fully stacked Roa. Seraph's unlocked. I mean, if Elder goes down, okay, fine, right, Rogue win. I concede that point. But maybe Nukeduck can find some sort of tool.
Here we
Elder's
go.
going to be the bait, but Xerxes is going to be needing the Lantern to get to safety. Death Sentence will catch Finn, but he's unstoppable thanks to the Bellows Breath. Nukeduck with good damage, but he gets chunked down by the Sand Soldiers. Alfari's in the backline. He goes golden. Lamb's Spite is buying some. OG, they get obliterated. Oh, the railgun from Hans Sama picks it up. There is a reply. Remember, Lamb's Respite was used 1-for-1. That's a catch onto Hans Sama. OG with the first kill of the game at 31 minutes. There's a 2v3. That's another. Nuke Duck's back in it. I called it. There was a problem to deal with, but here comes Larson. The Emperor's Divide goes way the wrong way. He was trying to find a target, didn't manage to do it. Now that Finn has arrived, Larson and Vander are looking to do a little bit more, and they can't find the DPS yet. Nuke Duck needs to find a Riftwalk onto a squishy. Finn is not the squishy that he is looking for, but crucially, the Elder Drake is stopped, and OG show signs of life.
Oh no, is it actually happening, Trevor? The castle win right there, looking pretty nuts. Even down 2k gold against Ornn items, still jumping in and getting the absolute one-shots right there. Watch the fight again, because it's a little discoordinated from Rogue, and that pillar is really miserable. It slows them all down in this portal, where Finn is now zoned away from the rest of this team. Nuke Duck on the side gets down a lot of damage before running away, and then Alfari coming into the backline gets the exhaust and the Kindred R. Kindred R comes in way too early, so while yes, Upset does get nuked on the side of the fight, when Inspired goes forward like this, he gets instantly popped, instantly destroyed, and then the CC comes through. Nuke Duck, level 17, Lich Bane completed now, 3 items, is a monster, and when there's not the CC, when there's not the Kindred ult or, you know, the Emperor's Divide to be able to lock him down, he is going to reign supreme. You can see right there the R even misses, and I think could have gone a little bit deeper, but he knows he's scaling. He is such a beast at this point in the game that you wait it out and you fight now.
Okay, they have to fight again. You cannot concede Elder with a 4-stack Dragon. That is Nuke Duck playing on the flanks, using a Rift Hook. He's got a full mana bar to play with. Elder's going low. Alfari, no flash available to him. And Ender, don't be surprised by Castle Win at level 17. You called it in draft, man. You said if Nuke Duck gets to 16, it can happen. It's still a 4,000 gold lead for Rogue. Yes, they've got themselves the soul, but Rogue are not able to pick up the Elder yet. The siege continues. OG, they're playing on flanks. Look, bottom lane being shoved by Upset, mid lane being shoved by Nuke Duck, and the Elder's been started now by Rogue.
This is such an uncomfortable position to fight in. Rogue needs to be able to commit towards one way with the Ornn ultimate. This may be the opening for them.
It will indeed. That call, the Forge Guard went way the wrong direction. That was not what you were hoping for if you're a Rogue fan. Destiny flashes forward. He manages to catch Finn again. Not the priority target. Devour buys some time as that Pillar of Ice slows down Rogue. Inspired, gonna use the Dance of Arrows over the wall. Death Sentence goes wide, and the tension continues to mount. OG can lose the game if they lose the Elder.
Yeah, it would just be instantly over, right? But on the flip side, if they get the Elder, that opens up the Baron, that opens up so much more for them in this game. Now, Rogue are going to stick around here, and keep in mind, Nuke Duck is not in the side lane, abusing the teleport, pushing down for towers. He wants to be here for the 5v5. Finn does not have R ready. It might be time for OG to go in.
It might indeed, but the rest of Rogue do. No assault, no Threshold. It's taken by Inspired. Elder Dragon picked up by Rogue. Double kill onto Xerxes and Nuke Duck, and the Abyssal Voyage is delivering Vander as well as Finn to the front lines. The Railgun looking for an insta-gift. Compliments of Hans Sama. Vander helps set up more. 100% kill participation from the duo lane of Rogue. The game started with them getting kills. The game will end with them killing OG.
There was one slight hiccup at the Elder Dragon, but right there they are able to execute very, very well. For 34 minutes, the cleanest game I've seen Rogue play all split. They're going to march it down for victory in Game 1.
Consistent performance from the team. Rogue open up the series, taking down OG in Game 1. And honestly, that was just impressive.